Hello, everyone. This is Vian Anderson, and welcome to another session of Writing with Vian Anderson or Storytime with V. So, Storytime with V is for Mondays, but you guys can still use the hashtag so I can stay updated with you guys. But today's topic is going to be helping you discover 3 different types of books that you can write or start writing before the new year hits. So, I want you guys to invite your friends, invite your followers, because this is going to be very informative for those of you that feel like you don't know what to write about, even though you feel like you really want to write a book. So I want you guys to go ahead, invite your followers, friends, family, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, all of them. All right. So we're going to be getting started soon. I did start streaming a little earlier, but the internet connection was quite slow, so had to take that video down. So just wanted to make sure that everything is being streamed correctly. Can you share it onto my my Facebook page from my account, honey? Because I can't do it, because if I get on the internet, it's gonna slow down. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give a little introduction of who I am. So I'm Vian Anderson. I am a author. I am a public speaker, but some of you know me as being a writing coach for women, teaching them how to make their life experiences into published self-help books to bring hope and to bring cultural advancement or changes. So I want to be able to help people write their books so they can have hope and that there can be change in their cities, in their country, everywhere that they go. I believe that our life experiences are meant to be told so that it can be hope for other people. So my whole life is about being an open book, being transparent, and letting people see that God has been good to me, and that He has brought me through various situations. So God is good. So I see that my husband's on and somebody else is here. Hello, thank you guys so much for coming in. Introduce yourselves. I want to make sure that I acknowledge everybody that takes the time to come in today to learn on how they can write their book. So let me know also if you have any questions. I am here to answer questions as well. So we'll be getting started soon. Invite your friends, invite those that you know. Tag somebody in this that you know needs to write a book. Hello, Vanessa Coakley. She just finished her book, you guys. She is launching it, and I'm super excited. I was able to be a part of the publishing process for her book, and it's great to see that she allowed no limitations to get in her way to write and publish her book. So welcome to today's episode of Writing with Vian Anderson. Miss Vanessa Coakley. Please be sure to invite your friends and followers, Miss Coakley. That would be amazing. Hello, Doc. All right. I've published one and working on another. Great. What kind of book are you working on at the moment? What kind of book are you working on? That's really good that you're working on another one. Listen, every time that like I'm somewhere and I just hear like a topic on something or I see something going on, I'm just like, that's a book right there. You can write a book on anything. And I want everybody to know that it's not hard to write a book. And writing a book creates opportunities for you. It creates income for you as well. I believe that books are business cards. So it shows your expertise on the topic that you're talking about. But it can also be an opportunity for you to change lives for other people. So, all right, invite your friends and followers. All right, and if you guys do have a book, go ahead, tell us about it. You can put that in the comments. If you'd like to share the link to your book, go ahead. I think that that's going to be really good for some of you so people know, hey, I have a book. So, also, if you've had any obstacles or any type of questions that you have regarding the book writing process, If you're experiencing writer's block, please let me know. I do have some products that are available to help you overcome writer's block and also to help you in your writing process as well. First was a 40 unit devotional I released the year I turned 40. That's awesome. Second is about the lessons after a recent transition. That's great. And I'm pretty sure that, a lot of people would benefit from reading a book about transitions. You know how many people are feeling like, you know what, God, I need you to do something. I need you to do something in my life. I need to know what to do next. How do I handle the waiting process? How do I wait? How do I remain patient when I'm in a circumstance that I don't feel like being in? How do I transition well? How do I allow you to guide my steps? I think that that's really good. So devotionals, and I'm definitely going to be talking about devotionals today. So let me go ahead and get started. Once again, I am Beyond Anderson, and I'm here to help you write and publish your book on a budget, but most importantly, to tell your story and get your story published into a self-help book. Okay? So today I'm going to be talking to you all about 3 types of books that you guys can start writing before the new year hits. I've heard so many people talk to me about, Vion, I want to write a book, but I just don't know what to write about. I feel like God is telling me to write a book, but I don't want to write my life story. It's just like, okay. So, listen, first things first, God may want you to write your life story. And that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'll make that number 3. So let's go over number 1. This is not in any order of priorities of books that you need to write. It's not in order or anything. But these are just suggestions of types of books that you can start writing before the new year hits. So the first type of book that you can start writing is an educational book or a DIY book teaching people how to do something, which is... you can do an educational book that highlights a particular skill that you excel in. If you have a skill in sales, if you have a skill in business, if you have a skill in cooking, you can make those skills into a book. Excuse me, I got some glitter today. So listen, you can make your skill into an educational book. And this is the greatest type of book that you can write to make sure that you have opportunities to spread the news about what you do, but also opportunities for you to make income. God knows that He has put these things inside of you, and it's time for you to put it out there. People need to know what you do, but they also need to know, hey, how do I accomplish it? There's a lot of people that want to know the steps to complete a particular skill. So some of you guys may look to YouTube. Some of you guys may look to blogs. But some people are not tech savvy, so they don't go to YouTube. That's usually people that are older or elderly. But some people want to know, hey, does this person really have what it takes to complete the job? Do they really know what they're talking about? And like I said earlier, books are business cards for me. So if you are an expert in a field, if you excel in a particular skill, you can write about it. Some of you guys, I know people in human resources, and they have different jobs in corporate America. You could talk about your experience as an HR director. You could talk about how someone can advance in that career. You can talk about things to look out for. Hi, Jillian, how are you? You could talk about whatever your field is. That is a way for you to write a book so that people can become equipped and knowledgeable on what you do, on that particular skill. Some people just need to be educated. It's really simple to write a book on your skill. If you are able to educate people, guess what? That's a book. That's a book. I look at everything as a book. Advice, education, it's all books. So number 1 is educational or DIY books. So you can do cookbooks. You can take a picture of your dishes that you create, your desserts. You can make those into a book. Take a picture. Get a really good camera. Use your iPhone 10. Use your iPhone 10. Get the settings looking right. And guess what? You just put the recipe down. It's just that simple. That's a book, honey. Then guess what? You can go on cookbook tours. You know what I'm saying? People will come and, you may even get an endorsement. You could probably start a restaurant. Do you understand? A book is the door to an opportunity. Come on, y'all. Some of y'all may have the skill to sew. You can have a book on how to sew clothes a certain way. That's one of the skills that I actually want to develop. I want to learn how to sew. I'm looking it up, but I think, I'm the type of person that needs to touch things. I'm hands-on, so I need to open a book. I would have to start cooking, though. Jillian, it's all right. Well, maybe that's not the book that you need to write. Or, you know what? You can find the perfect opportunity. Like, if you at your friend's house, let's say it's Christmas. Some of y'all going out for Christmas, or maybe you're having people at your house for Christmas. And guess what? You're cooking. And you always hear people say, you know what? Your food is really good. Guess what? This year, you can take pictures of your food. You can do step-by-step, write that bad boy down, then you type it up onto the computer. Find a nice template online where you can input your recipes, and boom shakalaka. Upload that bad boy to a publishing website. Go to CreateSpace or Lulu. It's real out here, y'all. There are opportunities to walk into, but we have to start thinking like the millionaires that we are. Okay? So, what I say about, so I'm looking at my notes here. Educational or DIY book that highlights a skill that you excel in. Okay, this is another thing. Let's go over this. Some of you guys, actually, you know what? That's gonna be number 3. Number 2, you can do a compilation of motivational quotes. Some of you guys are believers, some of you are not. So I'm gonna break it down for the believer and an option for those that are not Christians. So for the person that is not a Christian, it's really easy to write a motivational book. Okay, now you can have a book of maybe 30 pages with inspirational quotes, with nice colorful pages and nice fonts. Do you realize that people buy these types of books just to give to their friends for birthdays? You can even do something for wedding gifts. It's just that simple. Writing a book, it doesn't have to be 100 pages. You can have a 30-day motivational book with quotes on each page. And boom, you're a motivator, officially a motivator, once you write a motivational book with some inspirational quotes inside. Just make sure that it's pretty. People are captivated by their visuals, okay? You have to make sure that it looks nice. So, you can do a 30-page motivational book with nice quotes. If you feel like it, well, first of all, you need to know what type of people that you're trying to motivate. When you know who you're trying to motivate, you have to speak their language in that book. And then you make that into your motivational book. So, if I want to motivate moms, I can write a book that's like 30-day motivation for moms when they're feeling stressed out. So, and then the subtitle can be like, this is your go-to motivator when your kids are acting crazy. And so they know. They're going to open that book. It's going to be some nice, pretty pink and yellow, orange type pages with some great motivation for when they're feeling down, okay? You have to know who you're writing for, and you need to know how they receive information. You have to know if they read a lot. Thank you so much, Jillian. Do they read a lot? If I'm writing a book for a busy mom, why in the heck would I make a long book? That just doesn't make sense. Well, if they're the type of mother that likes to read, that's a total different thing. But there are some moms that want motivation, but they just don't have the time to read a lot. So make it really short. So then for the Christian, if you're a believer, you can write a motivational book, or guess what? A devotional. Devotionals are the easiest books to write. Okay? You can do a 30-day devotional, okay, or 15-day devotional. if you want to make the pages, a little bit more hefty, you do a picture on one side, on the left side, and your devotional page on the right. And therefore, your pages get doubled. Come on now. Or you can put the scripture on the left side, and then the daily thought on the right side. And so devotionals are the easiest thing to write. Why? You're finding a scripture, and you're also putting your 2 cents on it, and a motivational quote, or guess what? A call to action. Teaching people to do something after they read your book. Another way that you can do that with your devotional, you can even have a journal section. Come on now. You can have your devotional, and then you have lines on the bottom part, and then guess what? You can say, hey, write down your thoughts on this scripture. How did it make you feel when you read this? Or things like, have you been dealing with this lately? What are some ways that you can overcome the feelings that you're feeling right now? It's just that simple. Write that devotional, sweetheart. Don't allow procrastination to stop you. Give some hearts on that. So, the first one was what? An educational or do-it-yourself book. The second type of book that you can write is a motivational book or devotional. The last type of book that you can write before the new year hits is a self-help book. Come on now. But I think that can really go with number one. But I'm going to say a self-help book using your personal life story. And I'm always going to say that because there are so many people that shy away from telling their stories. And it's doing an injustice to yourself and people that need to hear it. And you're probably thinking, Vion, why would I want to write my story? Because you know what? There are people in this world that have experienced similar circumstances or similar stories to yours. And they're looking for hope. They are looking for somebody to give them a hope that, hey, this won't last forever. Some of you guys have gone through financial hardship. Some of you have experienced rejection. Some of you guys have experienced life without a mother or a father. And if you have the solution to share on how you overcame those obstacles, or you can talk about what you did wrong that you wish you did right, and you notice that, hey, you know what, I could have done this a little better, you are officially a solution for somebody. And that's why, I wrote my first book. And I wrote a little bit of my personal life experiences because I didn't want young women going down the same path that I went down in my teen years, just dating just to date, being with men that had no intention of staying with them. I was able to provide a solution. If you see this going on, if this guy's doing this, you need to bounce. You need to get him out your life. And then you need to find some moral values. You need to build your self-esteem. This is how you build your self-esteem. This is what I went through. This is how I figured out that I had low self-esteem. And so what people need to understand is that your life story, or what you need to understand, is that your life story is meant to be a solution for somebody else. We have been placed on this earth to impact lives. We're not just here to chase a paycheck. We're not just here to go through situations. There's always an expected end when you're walking with God. And so what you have to understand is that all things work together for your good. So what God allows, or things that we put ourselves in, some of us have just made bad decisions, and God has taken us out of those situations, out of those obstacles. We have to understand that God, He pulls us out of those situations so that we can see that He is the answer, that He is the solution, that He is our hope. We are to look to Him, and we can't look to other things. And so if you want to write a book, you can write a book on that, about something that you've overcome, or a heart issue that you have experienced and how you were healed from those things. You can talk about all of that. It doesn't just have to be your life story. It can just be just one experience that you've had. And guess what? It doesn't have to be 100 pages. Stop limiting yourself to, or putting the pressure on yourself to write a 100-page book. Maybe God didn't tell you to write a 100-page book. You can write a 70-page book, a 30-page book, 60-page book. Just write. And that's what we all just need to go. We need to start there. Just start. Just start writing. And don't put limitations on yourself as though you have to write a 100-page book. Who told you you had to do that? Don't look to the left or the right. Don't look at what everybody else is doing. Do what you need to do and be great. It's time for you to shine. But you can't look at everybody else and then compare yourself to them and say, hey, that's what success is. Because that's not success. Your success is not their success. Okay? God has put something inside of you. He has given you your life story. And you're responsible for, for sharing your story or your experiences based off of what you've learned. You're responsible for that. Do you think that we've just gone through things just to hold it and just go through it? No, you share your solution. You share what you've learned. Sometimes, we're really busy sharing the gospel, but a part of the gospel is what you've gone through and how the Lord redeemed you. Come on. That's the good news. How did God deliver you? Don't just stay high and mighty as though you've always arrived or God delivered you and then you act like you don't go through nothing. No, what did God deliver you from? Be real. Be real. Be real. I think that's a book. Be real. So that's what I got for the 3 types of books you can write before or start writing before the new year. I am always reminded of the power of that small book titled The Prayer of Jabez. I have heard about it, and I heard it was small. But it's just who told you that you had to write a long book? Listen, I read this. It was a book. I read it while I was in Georgia for Thanksgiving, and it was really tiny. I think it was 20 pages. It was literally like this. No, it was really like the size of my palm, like this small. And it was maybe 15 or 20 pages, but it was one of the most impactful books that I read. It was called Quantum Faith. Okay, Quantum Faith, and that thing was a small booklet, the size of my hand, 15 to 20 pages. One of the most impactful books I ever read. People are not worried about how long your book is. They are worried about the content on the inside of it. Come on now. So, did you guys have any questions? Any questions regarding your writing journey or anything that was spoken about today? Because this has been a short teaching, but very useful for those of you that feel like you just don't know what to write about. So let me know. Let me know. Thanks for the motivation. Quantum Faith. Yes, ma'am. Quantum Faith is a very good example of a book that was written. Guys, listen, some of you have journals that you've written. Some of you have poems that you've written. Make it into a book. Share it. Share it with the world. Why keep it to yourself? What is that benefiting you to keep it to yourself? Come on. Give some solutions. People want solutions. People want excitement. They want adventure. They want solutions. They want hope. And what you have is what they need. So I'm working on another book right now. And I definitely want to be able to start a writing challenge so that I can see how long it takes for me to write this book. This is the first time I'm writing a book while I have a child, while I'm married and with the child. So this is going to be interesting. I wrote a book while I was first married, but the beginning of my marriage. But this go around is different because now I have a child. It was really easy to just spit out books when I was single. But with the child, it's a total different story. Pun intended. So, if you guys don't have any more questions, you guys can still use the hashtag Writing with Vion. I'll check out those hashtags. If you guys think of any other questions, you can just use the hashtag. Writing with Vion, and I'll look at it and answer those questions. Or you can inbox me at Writing with Vion on Facebook. You can also, actually, I prefer for you guys to go on my website, therightresources.com, WRITE, therightresources.com. I was able to finish my book when you told me it did not have to be 150 pages. Yes! And you've been wanting to write a book for years, right? Look how one idea could keep somebody back from completing a project. But now look at you. She has a book called Upgrade, you guys. Go to VanessaOnDemand.com. You can pre-order her book, Upgrade. Miss Vanessa, you can put the link in the comments. VanessaOnDemand.com/upgrade. Yes. So I am officially going to sign off because I'm done with today's teaching. You can visit therightresources.com for writing sessions, if you need coaching, if you need resources to help you write and publish your book on a budget. I do have a group coaching course coming out called Write and Publish Your Book from Start to Finish. And it is a 3-week course which teaches you how to write and publish your book from start to finish. It's just that simple. I go over how to design book covers for free. Or you can also find out resources that you can choose, different options. If you want to pay for your book cover to get designed for as little as $5, I have resources that teaches you how to overcome writer's block, how to get your book copywritten, how to get your book registered, how to get it uploaded to Amazon, all of that. So how to make your book available on the Barnes & Noble website. Listen, I've got mine up there. So I'm going over all of that, how to structure your book, how to keep your audience engaged, everything that you need to know from start to finish. I'm going to go over it. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. The registration ends on the 30th, so be sure to register. If you register this week up until Monday, you guys can use the promo code New Year, and guess what? You'll get $50 off. So go to therightresources.com/course, and you can find out more information about that group coaching course on that link. So I'll also put the link on the bottom of the comments. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you guys